They disrespected you, didn't they? They mocked your silence, they laughed at your dreams, they tried to break your spirit with words sharper than knives. And in that moment, fire rose inside you, your chest burned, your hands shook, your heart pounded. You wanted to fight back, to shout, to prove your worth. But deep down, something told you, wait. Something told you, do not waste your energy where it will not grow. Because disrespect, my friend, is the mirror of another person's weakness, it is never a reflection of your value. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after." Notice, he said truth, not approval. Not validation. Not respect. The first Stoic lesson in handling disrespect is this: never allow another person's low standards to pull you down from your own high ground. The insult is theirs, the dignity is yours. Before we dive into these 20 Stoic weapons against disrespect, pause. If you are ready to rise above the noise, if you are ready to own your mind and never bow to petty words again, then make sure you like this video, because what you're about to hear may just change the way you handle every wound to your pride for the rest of your life. Disrespect feels personal, but the Stoics remind us, it is not. Seneca said, "We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there would be no end of them." What does that mean here? It means every second you spend wounded by another's opinion is a second stolen from your short and sacred life. Tip number 2, treat disrespect as a thief of time. Do not argue with fools, for they love the sound of their own echo more than truth. Do not reply to mockery with mockery, for then you stand on the same rotten ground. Instead, protect your hours as a soldier guards the gate of a fortress. Ask yourself, do I give away my peace to the careless words of a stranger, or do I invest my energy in building the life I know I was born to live? Every time you ignore a fool, you sharpen your soul. Every time you rise above a petty jab, you harden your armor. Disrespect loses its sting the moment you decide not to be its victim. But let's take it deeper. Imagine someone spits venom at you, calls you weak, foolish, undeserving. You feel the insult cutting into your pride. Now pause. Tip number 3, learn to master the pause. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That pause between their insult and your reaction is the space where greatness is born. If you fire back instantly, you are their puppet. They pull the string, you dance. But if you pause, if you breathe, if you let silence stand tall, you turn the power back to yourself. Let them drown in their own noise while you remain unshaken, a mountain unmoved by the winds of insult. And remember, silence is not weakness. Silence is the sword of the wise. The man who can stay calm when attacked is the man who terrifies those who rely on chaos. Tip number 4 flows naturally, redefine disrespect as free training. Every insult is an opportunity to practice patience. Every snide remark is a weight added to your strength. Think of it, would you rather be praised all your life, wrapped in cotton and never tested? Or would you rather face the fire, and walk out forged like steel? The Stoics believed obstacles are fuel for growth. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, said Marcus Aurelius. Disrespect is not your downfall, it is your gym. It is the resistance you push against to grow unbreakable. The next time someone disrespects you, whisper to yourself, "Thank you. You just gave me a chance to train." But some of you might be thinking, what if the disrespect comes from someone close? A friend. A family member. A mentor. That's where tip number 5 cuts deep, see the wound behind the weapon. People often disrespect not because of who you are, but because of their own pain. Hurt people hurt people. The Stoic does not excuse cruelty, but he understands it. Compassion does not mean tolerance, but it does mean perspective. When you realize their insult was born from their own wounds, you no longer carry it like a curse. You drop it. You refuse to inherit their bitterness. Instead, you say, this is your pain, not mine. I will not make it my identity. This is the essence of resilience, not letting another person's storm enter your inner sanctuary. Tip number 6, choose dignity over revenge. Revenge feels sweet in the moment, but it poisons the soul in the long run. Seneca warned, "He who seeks revenge keeps his own wounds green." Think about that. Every time you plot retaliation, you reopen the wound. You allow their disrespect to live rent-free in your mind. The Stoic response is higher. Dignity is the greatest revenge. Success is the loudest answer. Inner calm is the sharpest blade. When you refuse to fight on their level, you humiliate them with your peace. Your silence screams louder than their insult ever could. Now let me sharpen this further with tip number 7, make disrespect your teacher. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" If the insult is true, use it to improve. If the insult is false, use it to strengthen your indifference. Either way, you win. The Stoics believe truth has nothing to fear. If someone calls you lazy, ask yourself honestly, "Am I?" If yes, correct it. If no, discard it. Either way, the insult cannot control you, because you turned it into a lesson. In this way, disrespect becomes fuel, never poison. Tip number 8, remember that the opinion of others is outside your control. Epictetus drilled this truth into his students: some things are up to us and some are not. What they say, how they view you, what poison spills from their lips, that is not up to you. What is up to you is your response, your character, your mastery of self. Do not trade your serenity for something that was never yours to control. The moment you care too much about their disrespect, you give them the keys to your emotions. Why would you hand your peace to someone who cannot even master their own? The Stoic way is to stand unshaken in your circle of control. The insult flies like an arrow, but it bounces off your shield of discipline. You smile, not because it didn't touch you, but because you know it could never own you. Tip number 9 cuts like a diamond, practice the art of perspective. Marcus Aurelius asked himself often, will this matter in 10 years? Will it matter tomorrow? The insult that burned you at breakfast, will you even remember it by nightfall? Most likely not. Disrespect is a small fire that only grows if you keep feeding it with attention. Perspective is your water. When you zoom out, you see how small the insult truly is against the vast landscape of your destiny. You are building an empire, and yet you are worried about the barking of dogs on the roadside? No. You do not stop the caravan to argue with every stray voice. You keep moving. You rise higher. And in that rise, the insult falls away into nothingness. Tip number 10, use humor as armor. The Stoics were not dry statues of reason, they understood the disarming power of laughter. When you laugh at an insult, you rob it of its sting. A joke at your own expense shows strength, not weakness. It tells the world, I am unshaken. Picture someone mocking you, expecting you to explode, and instead you smile, maybe even chuckle. That moment destroys their power. Disrespect thrives on reaction. When you laugh, you flip the script. Seneca said, a wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. To laugh at disrespect is to show you already own unshakable contentment. They cannot give you pain because you refuse to take them seriously. Tip number 11, channel your energy into greatness. Every second you argue with the small-minded is a second stolen from your greatness. Stop wasting fuel on people who are not even driving anywhere. Instead, transmute that anger, that sting of disrespect, into energy for your goals. The best Stoic response is progress. Build your body, sharpen your mind, grow your wealth, deepen your character. Turn their insult into a brick in the fortress you are constructing. The higher you climb, the smaller their voices will sound. And soon, you will not even hear them anymore, because you will be standing in places they could never reach. Tip number 12 is one of my favorites, remember that dignity is a daily practice, not a one-time choice. You will be tested again and again. Today it may be a stranger's insult, tomorrow a friend's betrayal, the next day a coworker's jab. Every time, you are faced with the same question: do I descend into chaos, or do I rise into discipline? The Stoics trained daily, rehearsing in their minds how to respond to hardship. That way, when disrespect came, they were ready. You, too, must train daily. Expect disrespect, so when it arrives, you greet it like an old opponent you already know how to defeat. Your composure, your calm, your refusal to be dragged down, these are not accidents, they are disciplines. Tip number 13, never beg for respect. Respect earned through begging is not respect, it is pity, and pity is poison. If someone cannot see your value, do not lower yourself to convince them. The Stoics believed in self-sufficiency. Your worth comes from within, not from the applause of the crowd. Think of Cato, who walked into the Senate wearing simple clothes, unconcerned with fashion or favor, yet his character commanded reverence. You do not demand respect, you command it by the way you live. If they disrespect you, it is their blindness. Your task is not to make the blind see, but to keep walking in light. Tip number 14, anchor yourself in principle, not emotion. Emotions are waves, they rise, they crash, they vanish. Principles are mountains, they stand eternal. When you are disrespected, if you react only with emotion, you will be tossed around like a leaf in the storm. But if you anchor in principle, you remain unmoved. What is your principle? Maybe it is, I will never trade my dignity for anger. Maybe it is, I will always protect my peace. Whatever it is, let it guide you. Seneca wrote, if you live according to nature, you will never be poor, if according to opinion, you will never be rich. To live by principle is to live according to nature, not the noise of others. Tip number 15, master the art of selective silence. The Stoics believe not every battle is worthy of your sword. Sometimes the greatest power lies in restraint. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, once said, better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. Silence is not submission, it is strategy. When someone disrespects you, silence is often the most brutal answer. Why? Because disrespect seeks recognition. It feeds on your outrage. When you deny it attention, you starve it to death. Silence says, you are not worth my words. You cannot touch me. And nothing crushes a disrespectful soul more than realizing they cannot shake your calm. Tip number 16, practice self-respect as your fortress. Disrespect from others only stings when you doubt yourself. If you know your worth, their words cannot harm you. Imagine a king sitting on his throne, would he rise in fury every time a jester mocked him? No. His crown reminds him who he is. Your crown is self-respect. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you think like a victim, you will feel every insult like a dagger. But if you think like a sovereign, every insult bounces off your armor. Respect yourself first, and no outside force can make you feel small. Tip number 17, rise above the battlefield. Life is short, and the Stoics knew it. They lived with the awareness of death, memento mori, remember you will die. Now ask yourself, when you are on your deathbed, will the insults of small minds matter? No. What will matter is how you lived, how you loved, how you stood tall despite the storms. When someone disrespects you, remember, you are too busy preparing your soul for eternity to wrestle with their ignorance. Do not get dragged into the mud, you are building wings, not chains. Elevate your mind. Rise so high that the noise below becomes irrelevant. Tip number 18, turn disrespect into fuel for discipline. Every time someone disrespects you, instead of sulking, train harder. Study deeper. Work longer. Use it as energy. Let their insult echo in your ears not as pain but as motivation. I will prove you wrong, not with words, but with results. The Stoics thrived on hardship, they turn obstacles into teachers. So when someone belittles you, whisper, "Thank you for giving me another reason to sharpen my blade." Discipline is the sweetest revenge, because discipline builds the life that will silence every critic. Tip number 19, accept that disrespect will never vanish. No matter how virtuous you become, no matter how high you climb, there will always be those who throw stones. Even Socrates, the wisest man of Athens, was mocked and sentenced to death by his city. Even Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, faced betrayal and slander. Why would you expect a smoother path? To demand a life without disrespect is to demand the impossible. The Stoic accepts it as part of the human condition. You cannot stop the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You cannot stop people from insulting, but you can control whether it ever lands on your heart. And finally, tip number 20, let your life be your loudest answer. No speech, no revenge, no clever comeback will ever equal the power of a life well lived. Live with virtue. Live with discipline. Live with greatness. And those who once disrespected you will either bow in silence or vanish into irrelevance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That is the ultimate Stoic reply to disrespect. Don't argue. Don't fight. Don't beg. Simply become. Become the man or woman whose presence commands respect without a single word. Become the force that silence cannot touch, that envy cannot break, that insult cannot reach. And now, as we close this journey, I ask you, are you ready to take these 20 Stoic lessons and wear them like armor? Are you ready to walk into the world unshaken, untouchable, unstoppable? Because disrespect will come, yes, it always will. But from this day forward, you will not bow to it. You will use it. You will rise above it. You will turn it into strength. And when the world sees that they cannot break you, when they see you stand tall in silence, they will learn the truth: the man who cannot be disrespected is the man who cannot be defeated. If these words lit a fire inside you, if you feel the Stoic spirit burning stronger in your soul, then don't leave without pressing that like button, subscribing, and joining this community of warriors who refuse to be broken by life's petty voices. Because together, we rise above disrespect. Together, we choose power over weakness, calm over chaos, and wisdom over foolishness. And together, we will walk the Stoic path, unmoved, unshaken, unstoppable. We will take the existing narration and deepen each Stoic tip with layered storytelling, examples, rhetorical power, and emotional repetition, so the flow remains cinematic, and each paragraph continues to hit like a hammer. First of all, if you like this content, and please support us by subscribing us and like the video. We will be very thankful to you for this favor. They disrespected you, didn't they? They doubted your worth. They mocked your silence. They laughed at your ambition. They tried to cut you down with words sharper than blades, and in that moment, you felt the fire rise within you. Your chest tightened, your hands trembled, your mind raced with 100 replies you could throw back at them. You wanted to shout, to prove your strength, to unleash fury that would make them regret ever daring to cross you. But pause, my friend. For in that pause lies your true power. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after." Did you hear that? He didn't say respect. He didn't say validation. He didn't say approval. He said truth. Respect is fickle, validation is fragile, approval is fleeting, but truth is eternal. And the first Stoic lesson in handling disrespect is this: never allow another person's low standards to drag you down from your high ground. Their insult reveals more about their character than yours. Their venom is their weakness, not your wound. When they spit their poison, let it fall to the ground. Because the moment you lower yourself to their chaos, you've already lost. The insult is theirs, the dignity is yours. Protect it. Guard it as you would your life. And if you're ready to rise above the noise, if you're ready to claim a mind unshaken by the petty words of fools, then press that like button right now and stay with me. Because what follows are 20 Stoic weapons to handle disrespect, not as a victim, but as a. Disrespect feels like an attack on the soul, but the Stoics remind us it is nothing more than an illusion of power. Seneca wrote, "We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there would be no end of them." Do you understand? It means every second you waste sulking over disrespect is a second stolen from your short, sacred life. This is tip number 2, treat disrespect as a thief of time. Think of time as the most precious currency you will ever own. Every insult you replay in your head is like handing over a golden coin to someone who never earned it. Do you argue with fools who love nothing more than the sound of their own echoes? Do you wrestle with those who thrive on drama and chaos? Or do you step back, guard your time, and refuse to give them the satisfaction of seeing you disturbed? The Stoic warrior protects his time like a fortress protects its gates. He does not let the noise of small men interrupt the building of his empire. Every time you ignore a fool, you sharpen your soul. Every time you walk away from pettiness, you add bricks to the fortress of your character. Ask yourself, will I let this thief steal my minutes? Or will I invest my energy in building the life I know I was born to live? And when the venom comes, when the words burn your pride like fire against the skin, you must remember tip number 3, master the pause. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Imagine this moment. Someone hurls an insult, expecting you to bite back, expecting you to dance on the strings of their control. But instead, you pause. You breathe. You let the silence stand tall. In that pause, you seize back control. If you lash out instantly, you are their puppet, they pulled a string, and you danced. But when you pause, you become the master. You are no longer a storm, you are the mountain unmoved by the storm. And do not confuse silence with weakness. Do not carry it as your identity. When they wound you, whisper, this is your storm, not mine. I refuse to let it reign in my soul. That is not weakness, that is supreme strength. Tip number 6 sharpens this strength, choose dignity over revenge. Revenge is tempting, it promises satisfaction, it whispers of justice, it fuels your ego with dreams of triumph. But the Stoics warned us, revenge is poison. Seneca wrote, he who seeks revenge keeps his own wounds green. Think about that. Every time you plot retaliation, you are reopening the cut. You are letting their insult live inside your mind, rent-free, day after day. Revenge chains you to the very person you despise. But dignity sets you free. Dignity is the calm refusal to sink to their level. Dignity is the unspoken thunder that silences fools without a word. Dignity is success, built quietly, without need for their applause. The greatest revenge is a life lived so well that their insults become laughable echoes of a past that no longer matters. And now tip number 7, the one that transforms every sting into a weapon for growth, make disrespect your teacher. Instead of crying, why me, ask, what can this teach me? If the insult is true, then use it as a mirror. If someone calls you lazy, ask, is there truth in this? If yes, rise and change it. If no, discard it with indifference. Either way, you win. Because the insult either improves you, or it strengthens your armor of self-respect. Epictetus would remind his students, if someone speaks ill of you, do not defend yourself against the words, but live so that no one will believe them. Disrespect becomes a lesson, either in correction or in calm. It is never wasted. When you see every insult as training, you turn enemies into instructors, pain into progress, weakness into wisdom. That is the Stoic way. Tip number 8, remember that the opinion of others is outside your control. Epictetus carved this lesson into the hearts of his students, some things are up to us and some are not. And what could be more outside your control than the lips of another human being? Their gossip, their jealousy, their sharp tongues, they do not belong to you, and therefore they cannot govern you unless you hand them the keys. Think of it like rain. When it pours, do you shout at the sky? Do you curse the clouds? No, you pick up an umbrella and keep walking. The disrespect of others is the same. Their words are the weather of their soul, not the climate of yours. You cannot stop the storm, but you can remain dry. The moment you obsess over winning their approval, you have given them power over you. And why would you give that power to people who cannot even master themselves? The Stoic warrior draws a circle around what he controls, his thoughts, his actions, his choices, and he refuses to waste his peace on anything outside of it. Their opinion is not your responsibility. Your character is. Let them shout. Let them mock. Their storm cannot drown you if you stand anchored in your own control. Tip number 9, practice the art of perspective. Marcus Aurelius often asked himself questions like, will this matter in 10 years? Will this matter tomorrow? And here lies wisdom. The insult that burns today, the disrespect that keeps you awake tonight, will you even remember it when you are living your destiny? Or will it fade into nothingness like smoke in the wind? Most disrespect does not survive the test of time. It feels large in the moment, but zoom out, and you see how small it truly is. You are building a legacy, you are shaping your soul, you are preparing for eternity, so why give weight to the bark of dogs along the road? Imagine a caravan carrying treasures across a desert. Do they stop every mile to argue with barking dogs? No. They march forward, because their mission is greater. Your mission is greater. Perspective is your weapon. Ask yourself in every moment of insult, does this matter to my destiny? Or is this a distraction meant to slow me down? Once you see disrespect for the smallness it is, you can step over it like dust beneath your feet. Tip number 10 is a weapon that disarms without striking. Use humor as armor. The Stoics were not cold statues, they understood the power of a smile. When you laugh at an insult, you rob it of its poison. Picture the enemy sharpening arrows, expecting them to pierce your heart, and you catch them with your bare hands, snap them, and laugh. That laugh destroys their power. A joke at your own expense shows that you are untouchable, that your soul is too light to be weighed down by their shadows. Seneca taught, a wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. That contentment is what allows laughter in the face of disrespect. Because if you already own inner peace, what can their insult take from you? Nothing. The next time they mock you, instead of rage, let a smile rise. Instead of shouting, let humor answer. Watch their confusion as their weapon turns into nothing. Humor is not weakness, it is strength dressed in joy. Tip number 11, channel your energy into greatness. Disrespect hurts most when you are idle, when you have nothing greater to pour your energy into. If your cup is empty, every insult fills it. But if your cup overflows with purpose, no insult can enter. Why waste fuel arguing with small minds when you could use that same energy to climb higher? Every second spent sulking is a second stolen from your goals. The Stoic way is to transmute that sting into action. Someone disrespects you, good. Use that anger to work harder. Let their words echo not as wounds but as fuel, I will show you. Not with words, but with results. Build your body until you stand like a fortress. Build your mind until it shines with wisdom. Build your craft until your success silences every critic. The most powerful reply is progress. When your life speaks louder than their insults, they vanish like shadows at sunrise. Tip number 12, remember that dignity is not a one-time choice, it is a daily discipline. Too many believe composure is something you summon only when insulted. No. Composure is something you cultivate every day. The Stoics rehearsed insults in their minds, they prepared for betrayal, they imagined mockery, they trained for hardship. Why? So that when it came, they were ready. The insult was no surprise. The betrayal was no shock. They had already fought that battle in their mind 100 times. You, too, must train daily. Expect disrespect, so when it comes, you wear calm like armor. Every day is a test. A stranger cuts you off in traffic, do you erupt, or do you practice calm? A friend mocks you behind your back, do you plot revenge, or do you practice silence? A colleague disrespects you in front of others, do you lash out, or do you anchor yourself in dignity? Dignity is not a reaction, it is a habit. Train it until it is who you are. Tip number 13, never beg for respect. Begging for respect is not strength, it is weakness disguised as humility. Respect earned through begging is pity, and pity is poison. The Stoics believed self-sufficiency is the mark of true power. Cato walked into the Senate in simple clothes, unconcerned with appearance, unconcerned with applause. His virtue was his respect. You must walk the same path. Do not lower yourself to convince anyone of your worth. If they cannot see it, that is their blindness. If they choose not to honor it, that is their loss. Your task is not to open the eyes of the blind, it is to walk in light regardless. Stop demanding respect. Start commanding it, through your integrity, through your work, through your character. True respect is never begged for, it is earned by the way you live. And when it comes not because you demanded it, but because you deserved it. Tip number 14, anchor yourself in principle, not emotion. Emotions are waves, they rise, they crash, they vanish. If you let them steer you, you will be tossed like a ship lost at sea. But principles are mountains. They stand eternal, unmoved by the storm. When disrespect comes, if you react only with emotion, you will rage, you will burn, you will regret. But if you stand anchored in principle, you remain calm. What is your principle? Maybe it is, I will never trade my dignity for anger. Maybe it is, I will always protect my peace. Write it. Repeat it. Live by it. Let it be your compass. Seneca wrote, if you live according to nature, you will never be poor, if according to opinion, you will never be rich. Nature is principle. Opinion is emotion. Choose principle. And when you do, disrespect becomes powerless. Because no insult, no slander, no betrayal can shake a soul anchored in unbreakable truth. Tip number 15, master the art of selective silence. There is a silence that is weak, and there is a silence that is unshakable. The weak man stays silent because he is afraid. The strong man stays silent because he has already won. Epictetus taught, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Remember this when disrespect comes. Words spoken in anger are like arrows, once released, you cannot take them back. But silence is a fortress, a shield against foolishness. Think of a roaring fire, if you throw wood, it burns higher. If you ignore it, it dies. That is disrespect. When you refuse to fuel it, it collapses. And in that moment, you show the world that your calm is stronger than their chaos. Selective silence is not weakness, it is control, and control is power. Tip number 16, practice self-respect as your fortress. Do you know why other people's insults sometimes cut deep? Because part of you believes them. A cracked mirror reflects distortion. But a polished mirror reflects the truth. You must polish the mirror of your soul until you know your worth so clearly that no insult can stain it. Seneca once said, no man can have a peaceful life who thinks too much about lengthening it, or believes that living through many consulships is a great blessing. Translation. Stop wasting energy on how others measure you, measure yourself by virtue, by discipline, by action. When you respect yourself, no one can disrespect you. Their words may sound loud, but they will echo into nothingness. You are the king on your throne, and you rise for no clown. Build your fortress. Make it unbreakable. Self-respect is the crown no man can steal. Tip number 17, rise above the battlefield. Life is war, but not every arrow deserves your shield. The Stoics knew that life's insults are often the cries of the miserable, not the attacks of the powerful. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you." In other words, why should the opinion of a bitter man matter to your greatness? Will his words define your destiny? No. You are not here to fight with ants. You are here to climb mountains. Rise above the battlefield. Look down from the heights of your purpose, and you will laugh at the petty stones thrown from below. Let them aim their arrows, none can reach the eagle who soars above the clouds. Tip number 18, turn disrespect into fuel for discipline. What if I told you that every insult you receive is a gift? That every disrespectful word is a spark you can turn into fire? The Stoics thrived on turning pain into progress. Epictetus was born a slave, mocked, beaten, and disrespected at every step. Yet he used it all to forge an iron soul. He said, "Difficulties show a man what he is." So let every insult be your training ground. Turn "you can't" into "watch me." Turn "you're nothing" into "I'll show you everything I can become." This is the way of warriors. Discipline fueled by disrespect is discipline that never dies, because it is born of fire. So thank your enemies. Thank the doubters. Thank the ones who laughed at you, mocked you, ignored you. They gave you the energy to keep moving when the world told you to stop. Tip number 19, accept that disrespect will never vanish. Let me remind you of a hard truth: no matter how good you are, no matter how noble, no matter how pure, someone will still hate you. Even Socrates, the wisest of Athens, was called a corrupter of youth. Even Marcus Aurelius, the most virtuous emperor, faced slander from his own senate. If they could not escape it, why do you expect to? To wish for a life free from disrespect is to wish for a sea without waves. Impossible. The Stoics accepted reality, they did not curse the storm, they learned to sail it. When someone disrespects you, do not cry out, "Why me?" Instead whisper, "Of course me." Of course insults come, because I live, because I breathe, because I dare to stand tall. Disrespect is proof that you are seen. And being seen means you are alive, you are present, you are dangerous to mediocrity. Accept it. Own it. Transcend it. Tip number 20, let your life be your loudest answer. Here lies the final weapon. The ultimate reply. Not words, not fists, not revenge, but life itself. Seneca taught, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Why stoop to their level when you can rise higher? Why waste years fighting petty insults when you can build an empire of respect through action? Live so well, live so strong, live so disciplined that the noise of disrespect becomes irrelevant compared to the music of your success. Do not argue what a good man should be. Be one. Do not fight to be respected. Become unignorable. Your very presence will silence the world. Let your deeds be your proof. Let your virtues be your weapon. Let your destiny be your reply. A life of greatness is the only answer that cannot be denied. And so we arrive at the end, my friend. 20 Stoic lessons, 20 weapons for your soul. Each one forged in the fire of ancient wisdom, each one sharpened to pierce the heart of disrespect. Now the choice is yours. Will you let insults poison your spirit, or will you rise above like a warrior of virtue? Will you waste time answering small men, or will you live in such a way that the world itself bows before your character? Remember, disrespect is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is the grindstone that sharpens your steel. It is the shadow that proves your light exists. From this day forward, walk with your head high. Walk with silence when silence is needed. Walk with self-respect as your armor. Walk with discipline as your weapon. Walk with wisdom as your guide. And no matter how loud the world mocks you, remember, they can never take your calm, they can never touch your soul, they can never chain your destiny. You are untouchable. You are unshakable. You are unstoppable. Now, if these words struck something inside you, if you felt the fire of the Stoics burning in your chest, don't leave without giving this message the honor it deserves. Hit that like button. Subscribe to join this brotherhood of resilience. Share this video with someone who needs the strength to rise above disrespect. Together, we will not just survive the noise, we will dominate it, we will master it, we will transcend it. Because the man who handles disrespect with wisdom, with calm, with fire in his soul, that man cannot be defeated. Before you go, remember this: your growth, your transformation, your strength does not end when this video ends. If these words struck a chord in your soul, if they lit even the smallest fire within you, then let that fire be seen. Like this video, not for me, but as a declaration that you refuse to bow to disrespect. Comment your thoughts, your journey, your commitment, because when you speak, you inspire someone else to rise. And subscribe, not just as a click, but as a choice, a vow, that you will keep walking this path of discipline, power, and wisdom with us. This channel lives because of you. It grows because of you. Every like, every comment, every share is fuel that keeps this movement alive. If you truly want to change your life, and if you want to help us spread this message so others can change theirs, then support this journey. Because together, we rise. Together, we build. And together, we will create a generation that cannot be broken.